So they asking, is love on this brand new table that they just got out the box? Barely have the instructions and putting the screws in. Like you sit on the chairs and wait a minute, I think we missed something. Y'all asking, really? How you doing, Ray of Sunshines? I am your girl, Talisa Ray, wife coach. We are reviewing Married at First Sight, season 14, episode number 9, is Love on the Table. My eyes kind of look like Mark's right now. Like Mark doesn't blink enough. Anyway, if it's your first time visiting my channel, I go couple by couple, not scene by scene. And I am going to try and just do a small scale recap and a review because I have to sometimes talk about what's happening. But I'm trying to work on how do I condense my reviews from 40 minutes to at least 30. So we're going to start with Steve and Noi first, okay? And they both do some kind of mini gestures, but grand gestures all the same. We see Noi, she does a scavenger hunt, and I think that gives the adventure that Steve requires because, you know, he's a nomad, a free spirit, really wants to just live by his own rules and not what society or his parents are saying that he should. And I'm all for it. But what I'm not for is the way that they still have underlying communication issues, underlying financial issues. Even though they didn't talk about it, it's still an issue that's going to resurface if they don't deal with it head on. So the experts send some questions to the couples and they ask them, have you ever been in love? You know, both of them ultimately say yes. What does love look like to you? And how do you know you're in love? Now, all of that's great. All of those, they gave answers that we can pick apart. But the one thing that I want to say about Steve and Noi is the fact that Noi is obsessed with him being in love with her, loving her, obsessed with it. And I'm all like, you know, she's like, he has apprehension. Ma'am, you met him 17 days ago. 17 days ago. And listen, I'm not one to say that there's a time limit on love, but if we be realistic, how much do you know? And so what is it that you love about him? You have what we call new relationship energy. It's the butterflies. It's the excitement. It's that you're somebody's wife. And so I feel like when we see later on, he talks about, I love you. I do love you. I realize I do love you. I feel like it's a little pressured. But in the next breath, I also believe that you can love people for many different reasons. I'm not necessarily in love with you, but I love the way you support me, or I love the way you hold my hand, or I love the way that we sit up and talk all night, are all things that contribute to why someone loves you. That doesn't mean that they love you in its entirety. I hope that makes sense what I'm trying to put down. I also feel like he feels just a tad bit pressured. He seems a little awkward to me this episode. Like, I was looking at him and I thought to myself, definitely a free spirit. Noi is very structured. And it should be a good balance, but something is off. Like, and I can't put my finger on it. Let me know down below in the comments if you figured it out. What is that thing that makes it off? So I have a question for you. 2 questions. Do you fall in love quickly? Are you head over heels quickly for someone? And how fast was the fastest that you had ever told someone, I love you? And I'm not talking about like during an intimate moment, because I used to be notorious for that until I figured out to say, I love the way you make me feel. Like, cause sir, I don't love you. I love the way you make me feel is different than I love you. People be thinking, or I love it. People be thinking you were whole ass in love with them, and it's just sex. So outside of that, because sometimes there are slips of the tongue, but outside of that, how soon had you said I love you? And yeah, I don't know what the other question was. So let's talk about Lindsay and Mark, shall we? Now, I kind of feel like, are we missing something? Because we only see the explosions of what Lindsay does, right? But she constantly talks about the way he treats her off camera, the way he acts off camera, but we don't ever get the opportunity to see that. So I'm kind of wondering, even though, listen, her explosions are way like too much, way like a lot. I'm wondering what he's doing and how he's behaving off camera. Because she keeps saying he's different off camera. He's different off camera. But we see you on camera. And so it's not a good look for you. And so when you're talking to him and you're talking about you feel like your behavior was okay at the bowling alley, I'm like, even if we have never seen him blow up, ma'am, that was not okay. The way you belittled, berated, defamated his character. Like, I just like, and what he does and who he is. Who would want to be with you after that? No matter what their indiscretion is. Even if I'm going toe to toe, everybody else is looking at you like, listening to the madness. It's not okay. And while they're talking, she cuts him off. She does the things that appear to be very rude. I don't know, para me. And I don't understand it. But he does make mention to, like, he does play a part a little bit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he plays a little part in, like, I say things and you say things. He said something like that, and I wish I had wrote it down because y'all going to be questioning it. And I'm all like, go back and watch it. But she also talks about how she needs to be affirmed and all these things. And I'm all like, people who require affirming, like, bitch, you doing a good job. Bitch, you doing a good job. People who need that are affirming people, and I have not seen her be affirming. No words of affirmation. Am I missing something? Did y'all see something that I didn't? But I'm actually kind of glad that Mark spoke up a little bit and said our issue is the way we communicate. We don't have a grasp of how to speak to one another in a way that's healthy. So I was really glad to see him not blink. That shit scares me. I couldn't figure out why his eyes always was like, it's because he don't be blinking. He don't be blinking. My son just brought me some fries, y'all. He don't be blinking, okay? When he's saying and talking and saying this to her, she's pretty much like she don't see it. It's almost like she's oblivious to what she says. She talks about how negative he is. And I'm all like, ma'am, you are the epitome of negative Nancy. We aren't seeing the bend over backwards Lindsay, the kind Lindsay, because all we see is the blow ups. And I'm wondering, is it part of like editing? But I would think that we would see it. And so if he's being this confused, shocked person on camera, it makes me sad because it makes her look bad. However, she doesn't really need help, especially when she starts just like, like you ain't shit. Like when she tears him a new one, she don't need no help. They got the questions from the experts too. And Mark lost me. Mark lost me when he said, I move on and want to go back to the other person. I was like, Mark, you find out that it's not greener on the other side. You leave this girl and go to a new girl. Maybe you heal, maybe you don't, but I don't know what your process is. But you find you a new girl and she don't fit a certain mold and check the boxes of the last girl. So you want to go back. Lindsay's like, that's alarming. I never go backwards. I only move forwards. Like it's people go back all the time. So I'm not going to say that that's what's alarming. What's alarming is that you're bringing in the things that you like about someone else and comparing them to your new girlfriend, forgetting that they are a different person with different characteristics and life experiences, etc. So that was a problem. I was like, Mark, are you saying it correctly? But she does call him dumb, so I don't know. I ain't calling you dumb though, Mark. But it's a serious question. Then they ask what it takes. And, it's for Mark, it's patience and time. But Lindsay is pretty much saying all the things that he's not doing in this moment. She needs somebody to be consistent and that cares. And what the next question was, what about, are you falling in love? And he was like, he didn't say yes that he's falling in love, but he says that I can see the possibility because there's these good pockets about us, right? But she's all like, yeah, no. If you asked me 11 days ago, 11 days, you just as bad as Noe. If you asked me 11 days ago, I would say, yes, I'm falling in love with him. But if you ask, and I'm just like, every time they get people to be on Married at First Sight, they are delusional. Every now and again, you get people that's not, like Deanna and Greg, like Amani and Woody. You get people that are not delusional, that actually are willing to put in work and get to know one another. You know what I'm saying? But then you get these people that think love is just like this. Marriage and love is synonymous, is what we get. And the fact of the matter is there are a lot of marriages where people are together and they don't love one another. They're married for convenience or for the children or for a myriad of reasons, but it is not love. Marriage and love are not synonymous. Y'all can fight me on that. I don't care. Do it down below in the comments. He takes her on a sushi date because that's what she likes. He wanted to show, I appreciate you. And guess what he does? He affirms her. That's all she needs to hear is him saying, I see you, I appreciate you, and I apologize because I don't want to cause you any pain, and I promise not to cause you any pain anymore. Now, you shouldn't have made that promise because you can't promise that. This girl, y'all just met 17 days ago, so you don't know all the things that hurt her. Y'all need to have more conversations. You know what I'm saying? And Lindsay needs to calm down just a smidge, more than a smidge, a lot. Then she does a gesture and takes him to the fun park. And they play baseball in the batting cage. And, so they seem to be having fun and moving forward. Honestly, though I don't think that this is really a good match because of the communication. I don't know what Mark is doing, but we see what Lindsay is doing. If they say yes on decision day, it's a disaster. But, people work through stuff all the time. I'm going to have a little fry. I'll be back. Okay, so let's get into Jasmina and Mike, shall we? I mean, they are really doing their best to show I like you, right? I really want to make this work. I don't know if that's something that the production is saying do or if they're doing this on their own, right? So he gets a picnic. I love a good picnic. He actually goes out of his way and makes a gift basket for Feeny, makes Feeny a little Dog Meets World bandana. I don't think she knows that he actually made that, iron on or however he did it. I don't think she knows how much effort he put in that. But that's not really what this is about. When they're sitting there at the picnic, he really wants to know, how do you want me to talk to you? If we are in the place like we were at the honeymoon and it's a disagreement, what is it I can do to bring you in? How can I talk to you? And she says, talk to me like a normal person. So here's my thing. She actually has a tone. She actually is ready to pop off. She may not be raising her voice, but it is very condescending is the word that I want to use when I think about Jasmina and the way she talks to Michael. The way she looks her nose down at him like he's really trying like a normal person. And he says, he ain't too stupid. He says, well, all of these things that influence who we are, family, our experiences, kind of dictates how we have conversations with people. So that's why I'm asking. We have two different backgrounds. I don't know anything about you. This is how I talk to the people that I'm around. And so I just really want to understand. And for me, all she can say is talk like a regular person. You don't have to come up here. Up here? He was never up here. He was just very matter of fact. Maybe she she's used to people sugarcoating shit or going all around the mulberry bush. The monkey chased the weasel. What happened? The monkey thought it all was fun. Pop goes the weasel. Like, he probably could show her what it looks like to really be elevated. Like he said, we both were going back and forth. We both had our voices up, but you want me to be down here while you up here? Unrealistic request. Furthermore, you don't really know how you want him to speak to you, do you, Jasmina? You can't really articulate it except for your tone. Fix your tone, ma'am. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe y'all don't see what I see. Let me know down below in the comments if you do. They talk about the questions that the experts gave. You know, they both loved somebody in a possible, okay? It was cute if you play spades, you know what 3 in a possible, 1 in a possible is. That means how many books you made, and you might be able to make another one. I mean, I can't act like everybody that's black knows how to play spades, because I got a homegirl that be mad that we ain't showing her. And I ain't want to really try to show her how to play spades, because I'm going to get mad because she going to want to be my partner, and then we're going to lose, and I'm a spadeologist. So, yeah. There's that. Anyway, I'm really liking my hair today. Y'all can't really see how my curls is popping. Still a little damp. Anyway, she asked, what does it take for you to fall in love? And he said, how do you know you're falling in love or whatever? And he said, I am vulnerable. And that's not easy for a man. Hello, it's not easy. Go ahead and say what it is. It's not easy for a black man, because we've put all these like parameters on what a black man should be and what it looks like. Like, you know, don't be expressing yourself, and don't be sensitive, and don't be crying. The devil is a lie. Please do all of that. Dear future bays, if you want me to look at you with Google eyes, please open up to me. Please be vulnerable with me. Please be honest with me. Please be transparent with me. Please have feelings, okay? You know what I'm saying? Don't just have one, which is nothing, or anger as an emotion, but please have a range of emotions, and let me see your heart. Let me see you, like, dear future babes, I know you watching, so there's that, okay? It's the thing that I like. She says, I don't remember what she wrote. She actually always has something. I don't know. Does she even share? Maybe she didn't. Maybe that's why I don't have it. But then she does a gesture by creating Jasmina's gym and 3 stations with things that they need to work on, one of which was communication. And he actually got vulnerable in talking about the first time he ever experienced grief, which was his brother's death. His brother was shot. Child, my little spirit. I told y'all I'm healing. So, you know, from my grief recently. So anything be like, I'd be like, oh my God, like, see me? Anyway, so he opened up to her and really, you know, like showed his emotion. Like, I wrote down, he needs grief counseling. He needs to go and see someone. He needs grief counseling because he's experienced death so much. He said every 3 to 4 years it was somebody dying. He needs grief counseling. Not just regular therapy. That'll help him, because he felt like, you know, I had to have this tough exterior. And I'm glad that he let that wall down. I'm glad that she actually went up and actually showed some compassion twice. When he went to visit his grave, and when he was talking about when his older brother died. So, you know, I'm glad she showed some compassion, but that lady just still don't like him. That lady is not a fan of Michael's. It's going to be a no for her, dog. It should be a no for him, too. But he is really, I think that he is really trying, and I think she's waiting on him to mess up, because when he said he was being vulnerable, she said, I don't believe it, because if he said he was going to do it from day one, then why isn't he trying? Because you ain't showing, like, you aren't giving him the space or creating the space that makes him want to open up and share with you. It's always a fight with you. So that's the thing. We got to recognize when sometimes we're the problem and the solution. Like, we are always the solution, though. But we need to definitely be honest and realize when we are the problem. It's a hard thing to do when we're the problem. Yeah, sometimes we be feeling some shit, and instead of saying, this is what I'm feeling, we just kind of be short and quick and dismissive like Lindsay was with Mark. Anyway, shall we talk about Katina and Olajuwon? I want to just... I do not appreciate the way he thinks a wife should be. For that matter, while he's asking her, what is a wife to you? She needs to be asking, well, define to me what a husband looks like to you. What are your duties? What are your responsibilities? Because I'm not finna be cooking, cleaning, barefoot, and pregnant. All you got to do is go to work. And when I go back to work, it is a joint effort. This is a partnership. If it was, I was able to stay home, maybe I would be learning how to cook, watching it, because YouTube University. We can learn how to cook anything and do everything. We can, if she's not, like, I'm getting beside myself. Hold on. Stop the press. Oh, wait. No, I'm not. Because they had a fight the night before. Because she was tired from the housewarming. And he wanted to clean up. And he said, just go lay down. So she went and lay down. She went to lay down. And he thinks that that's not what a wife should do. So as a husband, what? I mean, you did say you was going to help her clean up. But were you really? Or were you going to watch her and just talk? Like, you did what you were supposed to do in a partnership. And you, in your mind, think that because she went to lay down, that she does not have life skills? Who in the fuck do you think you are, Olajuwon? I really want Katina to get a backbone. For a moment, I thought maybe she's checking him when the cameras is off. She's not. She's not. She is just folding. He was like, you rolling your eyes, and I'm really trying to have a one-on-one conversation with you. Now, I get that the facial expression might have been like, oh, here we go. You know, it might have been, off-putting to him. But it's not what you say, it's how you say it. All he had to say was, I'm really trying to have a conversation, and I really want you to be present and hear it with me. Please don't be dismissive. Oh, you're right. I apologize. I probably would have said, let me roll my eyes again. See, this is why I'm not getting married again. Because I know that that's not the right answer. I know that Olajuwon would not have been a man that I would have dated to start with. Once he started showing who he was about all this cooking, I won't cook from scratch. You know what I'm saying? And when we saw her say, I'm at the grocery store, and I'm hoping that he's not, I hope he doesn't get mad at what I've gotten from the grocery store. Sir, come with me to the grocery store, or you do the fucking shopping. Let's write down a list together. Like, I'm confused. Like, it's almost like she's about to be a battered woman, but emotionally. Like, he is ripping her apart. Her self-esteem, her confidence. He is making her double, second guess herself. Like, I don't like it. And all he is doing is showing chauvinistic, misogynistic behavior. Where did he learn that from? Was it his papa? I really want her to speak up. I'm all passionate, but I really need her to speak up. And it's J-Dub says it best when he says that he is molding her. I told y'all, if y'all watching us on Jack and Glen's channel on Sundays at 12 noon PST or 3 p.m. EST, you would see that I said a couple Sundays ago, it's that pimp mentality. And that's what they do. They mold you into what it is. They kind of first break you, and then they build you into what they want. And that is exactly what's happening right now. Anyway, as they're going over the questions that the experts had asked them, The thing that got me was the way he said what he thinks love, how he knows that he's in love, or that love is on the table, or whatever. He said, for me, in a nutshell, unwavering devotion. That's what it felt like to me. Like you are in a cult and everything I say you do. Like there are certain laws and bylaws that you go by, and what I say is law. Like that's how I felt. But he just was like commitment, loyalty, devotion. I mean, things that normal people probably would say, but the way he said it and the way he was like, we're not there yet. It's off the table. And Katina, I want someone loyal and supportive and understanding and patient. I want them to be my best friend. I mean, isn't that what we want? Someone that I of course we want it elevated, but I want to call you my best friend. We should be able to have conversations about everything under the sun, the things that make us happy, sad, our goals. Like, I'm with her on that. But Olajuwon, I knew it was something about him I didn't like from when we met him and he was sitting with his family in the backyard. He said he wanted her to cook every day. Like, I was like, oh no, this dude, I'm about to say something else. This dude got life fucked up. That's not how it works. It's not realistic. She goes on and she shares about, she was like, I think I could be, more open and be more vulnerable and share more with you. But the reason, he was like, yeah, I know you don't cry. But the reason she doesn't cry is because her ex-boyfriend was emotionally abusive. And she cried all the time. And she said she would never have that type of emotion again. There's an opportunity for healing. There's an opportunity to go and talk to somebody without judgment so that you can let all of that out, so that you can heal and move forward, because it is a block and it will stop you from growing. I am going to say that. And he was like, don't let nobody, dictate how you operate, which is great advice, but you're doing that to her. I just don't know. And she's all like, I did not think I was going to go into this. And I don't live up to their expectations. I was not expecting that. The only expectation that he has for you, Katina, is for you to cook and for you to clean. So my whole thing is, if you don't go to work, is that going to be enough? Because, baby, call me. I will teach you how to cook something really quickly every day that's going to knock your socks off. Easy stuff. Easy peasy. We could do like most women do. He at work all day. Honey, have the food ordered in. Turn on some hot pot water. Make the aroma smell, and you can still bring it in. You can have somebody else cooking for you. You know what I'm saying? You can pay for that, since he's going to cover everything else, because that's what it sounded like to me. Like, I don't like that. He's just a total asshole. He later on does a date where they cook, which I would love to go on a cooking date, right? Dear future baes, you could use that as a planned date. Like, I'm all here for it. But like her, I'm not one of those people that want to get in the kitchen that be like, oh, I love cooking. You know, it's them people. I'm not one of those people. But I can cook. But I would like a date where we cook together. Like, that's cool. But his reasoning ain't. When he said, is she enough woman for me for to be a wife? For me as a wife. Are you enough man for her? Like, I just think that I'm taking too long on him, so y'all gonna have to catch me on Jack and Glen. But I'm really glad that she said, what are your expectations? And all he said was cooking and cleaning. You couldn't even go for the housewarming to go get the food. You stayed in the house. What's wrong with her orchestrating it? That's, to me, a boss, being able to delegate. I mean, he's all like, I'm just wondering if you could do something without me. I bought my house, is paid for, got my own house, I got paid for my student loans or whatever he said. But what are you doing? Can you do it on your own? I don't want to have to pretty much like raise her, teach her how to be a woman. You can't, because you aren't a woman. And all you're doing is tearing her spirit apart. And you talk about, I really care about this girl. I mean, we see them talking separately with the fellas and stuff. And the fellas is looking like, because he's like, I really care about her. And they all buying into this shit. Are you telling them that you want her to be Susie Homemaker? Are you telling them that? Do you want her to sew your clothes too? From, mend your clothes, go to the... What else do you want? Like, you want her to cook and clean, and then in the bedroom, suck you dry. Like, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. I'm hoping that Katina gets some... She's not, though. Like some backbone, some gumption, be able, to talk to somebody that's going to help her move forward. You know what I'm saying? I see they talk to Dr. Viviana next week. She's a sex expert, so it's going to be a whole lot more. I hope it's a whole lot more. But she's not. It just seems like she's just going to keep falling in the, well, whatever, I want him to be happy. But what about your happiness? What about you as the priority? That's always my question. We see them at separate meetups. They have in Manny's and Petty's, and they go to archery tag or something like that. I don't even need to talk about none of that because it's just about how they feel that we've seen, right? The conversations, being able to discuss it with the people. I'm most disappointed though right now. Katina's a good woman. Like, even though she may not have all the homemaking skills that he would want, she has the patience that he requires, like the understanding that he's gonna need moving forward. I don't like that. None of these couples is doing it for me. Who doing it for you? None of them is doing it for me. So that's it. We done. I am your girl, Talisa Ray. Thank you so much for watching my review of Married at First Sight. Season 14, episode 9 is Love on the Table. Take that shit off the table. Throw the whole table away. Like, that's how I feel. If it's your first time visiting my channel, go ahead and click the subscribe button to become a ray of sunshine. Right next to that button is the notification bell. Click it so you are alerted of when I upload videos. I would prefer that you press all so you can see whenever I'm coming up. But if you push, what's the one that's underneath it? The one that's for you, the one you like. So if you push that because you like the Married at First Sight reviews, oh God, what is it? I can't think of it. Do it. But click something so you're notified. I hate that you're missing it. I hate that you're not seeing when I upload. Share this with your friends so they can come talk with us and look at Olajuwon and ask, what the entire fuck are you doing, sir? Do you know what it takes to be a wife? A wife, you have no clue. If she has no clue, you sure in the hell don't have no clue. Do you know what it takes to be a husband, to be caring, to be supportive, to be loving, to be understanding, to be patient, to communicate? You talking about, I'm not trying to talk at you, but you were. Like, you see, he bothered me. He bothered me. Go ahead and like this video because you like me. You could like me. It's good. We good. You could like me, so hit the like button. I love you in real life, and I want every good thing that God has in store for you, even if you don't know what that is for yourself. Hugs and kisses and lots of love. I'll catch you on the next review.